So much. Awesome. Fantastic. Great. Cool. All right. So again, thank you all. Let's get it started. I'd like to introduce Jeff. Like I said, Jeff is someone that I've gotten to know in the last 4 or 5 months. He's the founder and CEO of Cinchapi. And today we would have a very interactive demo. And this is a tool that, in talking to Jeff, I'm sure all of us can probably relate to, right? For me, I use multiple tools, right? I use ChatGPT, I use Claude, I use Grok. So I'm always switching between, the different tools to get the best output for what I want to do. So I was having this conversation with Jeff, and he was telling me, hey, you know what? I just, build something, and I feel that this is something that most, if not all of us that use this AI tool would definitely require. And so I was like, you know what, I'll love for you to come speak to us. And so Jeff, first of all, thank you so much for honoring that invitation and come to speak with us. So I'll hand the ball over to you, and I'll let you introduce yourself to us. And the floor is all yours for the next
Appreciate it.
30 minutes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ade. I appreciate being here. I know that this is a rarity to have non-foster mates come to these monthly hangouts and certainly talk about what I'm building. So I really do appreciate the honor. I don't take that lightly, and I appreciate you all for being here. I'm not sure where everybody's based. I'm based in Atlanta, but it's a beautiful day outside. So you could have been outside, you could have been running the streets, but you all are here with each other, and we're here together. So uh, appreciate you all being here, and I don't want to waste too much of your time. Hopefully, I'll be able to share something useful, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the programming if I'm allowed to stay and participate as well. But as Ade began to introduce me and talked a bit about what I'm up to, want to just kind of fill in my background. So my name is Jeff Nelson. I wear a couple of different hats. So I've been an entrepreneur now, ooh, man, for over 15 years. And I founded a few companies. I'm still operational. It's like I'll start one company and then I'll get another idea and then I'll start another one and I end up doing them all at the same time. So I'm the co-founder and chief operating officer of Blavity and Afrotech. And this is actually the 10-year anniversary of Afrotech. So really, really excited about that. And hopefully I'll be able to meet some of you all in person at Afrotech, if not sooner, this November. But in addition to that, I am the founder and CEO of Cinchapi. And I founded Cinchapi almost 10 years ago. And I was really fascinated by this idea of how you can make technology more intuitive and more accessible to people regardless of their skill set. If you really think about democratizing access and democratizing data and democratizing technology, then you have to make it easy for people to use the technology to make themselves more productive and efficient. And so in 2022, when ChatGPT rolled onto the scenes, I was like, wow, I had two feelings. I was like, one, man, I've been working on this for a long time and they just launched this, man. They kind of stole my lunch there. But I was also excited because this was the vision that I had been working on and had been researching and really had been passionate about. So to see it finally come to the masses, I was like, okay, this is a good thing. And this, there's a lot of opportunity here. And so here we are in 2026. I think, type a one in the chat. So I'm very interactive. I'll tell you to type a one in the chat or a two in the chat, just to make sure y'all are still with me. But type a one in the chat if y'all have heard of AI. I'm assuming everybody has heard of it, but want to make sure that, I'm not losing anybody, right? So we're 4 years after the introduction of Chat GPT to the world, and everybody's heard of AI. My mom is 80 years old and she is using AI, and so everybody knows about it. But the thing that I'm noticing is that while AI is supposed to make our lives easier and it's supposed to free us from work, it's actually creating this new class of work. And that's what I call the orchestration trap. And with Cinchapi, the mission has always been make technology simple. A lot of people ask me where the name comes from. Cinchapi comes from taking the word cinch, which means easy, and APIs, which is what we use to build software. So literally simplicity is in the name. And so what I want to do today is I want to talk a bit about the orchestration trap and just set the scene. Then I want to show a little bit about what I've been building and tell you all how you can access it. and then leave some time for questions. And I promise I won't be before you too long. So I've got a few slides that I'm going to share on the orchestration trap. And as I said, AI was supposed to free us from the weeds. And in some ways, it has freed us from grunt work. But I don't know about y'all. I use AI every day, but I'm still in the weeds, right? Type a two in the chat if you can relate to this. Like if you're still in the weeds, sometimes I go to bed stressed arguing with ChatGPT and Claude because they're not doing exactly what I want. So it's just it's a new way to be productive, but it is not without its headaches. And as I said, the promise of AI, like if you were to explain someone, there's this technology where you can speak to it like a human, but it is as fast as a computer and it's as smart as a computer, and it has all the knowledge that we have in the world at its fingertips. And you can just speak to it like a computer. You don't have to program it, you don't have to speak a special language, and it'll do exactly what you want. Like if you told me this 5 years ago, I would say, okay, well, yeah, 50 years from now, I'd love to use that technology. And that was the promise of AI. And that's still a promise that I think we all want and we all believe in, right? And to some extent it delivered, right? I don't want to sit here and tell you that AI has not been transformative. I use AI every day. I used AI to make this slide deck. There's not a day that goes by that I don't use AI. And it takes tasks that used to take me hours, days, or weeks to minutes. I At Blavity, we had an AI show and tell the other day, and we've got teams, our design teams, our creative teams, our finance teams, literally stuff that used to take them weeks, a series of meetings with multiple people across the company, lots of back and forth. People are able to just do it in an afternoon. I mean, it is truly a transformative technology. But it did not eliminate complexity. AI got more and more powerful. Like if you all use ChatGPT in 2022 or even last year, like the AI of 2026 is leaps and bounds better than the AI that they had last year. And as it's gotten more complex and more powerful, that complexity has been passed on to the users. And so we've drifted away from this promise of like, I can just go to the computer and I can say, hey, here's what I want. And I don't have to be precise. I don't have to program it. I don't have to even spell correctly, but it'll just understand my intent and deliver on that. We've moved away from that. And that is what I call the orchestration trap. And the orchestration trap is best exemplified in this three-step workflow. And you all can probably relate to this. Type of three in the chat if you can relate to this. The pick, switch, and stitch. So first and foremost, there are dozens, if not hundreds, of AI tools, and you all can probably drop some in the chat. Tell me some of the tools y'all are using. Ade mentioned he's using Grok, he's using Claude. I use Claude a lot. People are using Chat GPT. There are now AI tools and other tools. So if you're in Microsoft Word, there's like Copilot there. And so one is like, what tool should I be using for this, right? Should I be using Claude Cowork or should I be using Claude Code? Should I be using Gemini? Claude literally just released a model yesterday. So once you figure out the tool, then it's like, well, which model should I be using? Should I be using Opus? Should I be using Sonnet? Should I be using GPT 5.5? Should I use Gemini Flash? Should I use an open source model? So you've got to think about which tool, which model. Then it's like, well, do I want it to think at the max, or do I want regular thinking, or do I want like just low thinking? And if I use max, how many tokens is that going to use? Like, how much usage have I done? Do I need to pay for extra? So, one, there's just like a cognitive overload before you even begin to interface with AI for you to decide which tool and which version of that tool to use, right? Then once you decide the tool, given your task, you've got to go between tools. So, Claude is great at some things, but ChatGPT is better at some other things. Sometimes, someone, Vivian mentioned the decision fatigue is high, right? Just one tool, but then deciding, okay, when do I need to take this task and go to another tool? Like, for instance, Gemini, their VO3, their video generation model is one of the best, bar none. If I have a task like I want to create a social media campaign, well then maybe Claude is really, really good at writing. It knows my voice and it can generate the copy. But then I've got to go to Gemini and say, hey, here's the campaign, here's the copy. Can you generate the videos? Then I've got to go to ChatGPT and say, here's a video. Can you generate some images like this? So the switching has a cost, and then you've got to stitch it together. So this is the orchestration trap. And it's funny, for the life of me, I don't understand why. Well, I understand why they do it, but it's not user friendly. All of these AI tools, they expose things like how much thinking effort do you want? And if you think about it like this, if you had an employee and they came to you and said, and you gave them a task, and they came to you and said, well, how much effort do you want me to put behind this? You're never going to tell them don't put the max effort. You want people to always give their best, right? But in AI, when AI gives its best, it's usually slower and more expensive. And the truth of the matter is, like, AI doesn't always need to give its best, but you shouldn't have to figure that out. You shouldn't have to decide, well, ChatGPT, I want the best version of you, or maybe I just want you to do this, really, really quickly, right? And then the environmental impact. If you're always using max thinking and it's taking a long time, then you're causing unnecessary impacts on the environment. And so this is why Cinchapi exists, right? When you're faced with the orchestration trap, you find that yes, you're not doing grunt work. So things that you didn't like to do, you no longer have to do them. But you find that you really don't have as much free time and you still are responsible. You're still in the weeds, but you don't have the context that you used to have when you were actually doing the work. Okay? And so if AI gets it wrong, it's harder for you to even know that. And the vision of Cinchapi is that vision that I said at the beginning. What if you only had to tell the system why? You didn't have to tell it what to do. You didn't have to tell it when to do it, where to do it, or how to do it. You just have to tell it why it exists. Like, this is the vision, and it would figure out everything for you. Now, if I were to give you an analogy to think about what Cinchapi is, if any of you have ever done like a home renovation or you built a house or anything like that, or you did any sort of complex construction, think about all the different players that have to be involved. Sometimes you need an electrician, you may need a plumber, may need someone to come frame it, there's an inspector. There are all these different entities that need to be involved. Most people don't navigate this themselves. They hire a general contractor. That general contractor is the person that you tell your vision to, and the general contractor is supposed to figure out, okay, well, who's the best electrician? You tell the general contractor your budget, and they say, who's the best electrician with this budget that can fit in this budget? You tell the general contractor your timeline, and they say, okay, what are all the things that need to be done? Who needs to come in where? What person, if we're going to do something electrical, then do we have to have the framing so that they can run the wires? They figure all that out. And you just sit back and chill, and maybe you come and do, some inspection and walkthroughs, and you point some things out, but you're not in the weeds. So you can think about what we're building with Cinchapi as your general contractor for AI. We want AI that connects to your systems, tools, and data, and it figures out the best models to use. It routes things to the correct places. It's a one-stop shop, so you don't have to do the switch stitch and that workflow there. And so Cinchapi has two different ways you can work with it. And this is what I'm really, really excited about. There's some work where you're an expert. Like, my background is in software development, and I use AI for coding, but I don't do what's called vibe coding because I'm a developer, right? I often know that AI is not the best coder. So AI is helpful, but AI is helpful to me as a thought partner. So for work where you have the expertise, you want to work with AI as a thought partner. You want AI to take some of the grunt work away. You want AI to do some things where it can move faster, but you're giving it the direction, you're telling it exactly what to do, and you're checking the work. For work like that, we have a tool called Relay where AI can be your thought partner. But then there's work that is not in my expertise where, I don't know anything about it. Like, I don't know anything about marketing. I would typically have to go hire a marketing person or outsource it. And so for work that is outside of your expertise, where you want to delegate, we have a platform called Riff, which is where you can create a new class of AI agents called ambient AI agents. And ambient AI agents in Cinchapi are different. Most people have used AI agents, but they're AI agents that you still have to work with task by task. You have to say, do this, and the agent will go off and do some stuff, and it's nice. You can step away, you can go get a cup of coffee, and it's nice. And then you come back and you check the work and you say, okay, now do this other thing. Cinchapi ambient agents are different because instead of going task by task, you give them a continuous state of being, a high level goal or KPI, and they continuously in the background and autonomously will look at your data, come up with the strategy, and make sure that they are initiating work on their own to keep that. So it could be a high level goal, such as like keep our profit margin at 30%. Think about if you were to give that to an employee or a teammate, what they would have to do. They'd have to look at data sources, they'd have to strategize, they'd have to come up with a plan, they'd have to try something. If it fails, they'd have to learn from it and adjust and do all those things. And Cinchapi ambient agents will do that for you. So what I want to do really, really quickly, I know we're almost at time. So I want to quickly just kind of show off our platform. So right now, what's available today is our relay platform. And this is the aspect of AI where you can work with AI as a thought partner. So no picking, switching, or stitching. And so you can go to cinchapi.com right now and you can create an account. And I have this sample prompt. And doing live demos is always risky because that's the one time when it's not going to work. So we'll see what it does. But the cool thing about this is what I just gave it was a transcript of a meeting I had, and what I'm going to have it do is it has a task where it is going to take this and is going to generate a follow-up email and a 30-day plan. So it's a meeting I have with a prospective client, and I wanted to generate that follow-up email and plan. And so in Cinchapi, you'll notice one of the things that I do is I don't have those toggles. Like I don't have to say how much thinking or which models, because what Cinchapi is going to do is it's going to automatically do that in the background. It's going to choose the best model for the task. It's going to route to the appropriate models. And if my task has multiple deliverables, it's going to automatically spin up its own sub-agents using the best model, the most cost-effective models, and it's going to do the work, and it's going to allow them to work concurrently. So with this, you'll see that one of the agents is generating the email here, and then another agent is going to come in and it's going to generate the 30-day plan. And so you can see they're both kind of going at the same time. I've got an agent generating the plan and another agent generating the email. And they're doing this on their own. They're passing inputs back to one another, and they're using the best models for the job. So I don't have to think about which one to use. I don't have to worry about tokens. I don't have to worry about usage or thinking. It's doing that all on its own. Now, that's one way to work with Cinchapi, and it's my favorite way to work with it because, like I said, I don't want to have to think about how to use the AI. I just want the AI to work. But if you are someone that wants control, then you can interact with Cinchapi and you can choose your own models. But the cool thing is you can choose multiple models, right? So, for instance, you can choose GPT-5 and you can say, let's say, write a poem about a cat. Okay. And right now I'm using GPT 5.5, but then I could also go and switch if I want to. Again, if I want to be in control, and I can go in and switch from GPT-5, and I'm going to use let's say I'm going to use haiku, right? And now I'm going to say do a critical analysis on this poem, right? So now I started with GPT 5.5 and now I'm switching to Claude Haiku. Same conversation. I can switch models whenever I want to. But not only that, I can use multiple models at the same time. And the cool thing about that is I can do what's called A/B testing. So there I can say, write a poem about a dog. And now I'm going to have multiple models all respond to this prompt. And the nice thing about this is I can compare side by side and choose which one I like best, which I really, really like. And the cool thing about that is as I'm doing this, and I've got an example from earlier in the day, the cool thing about this is that as I'm doing this, I can do some cool things. Where let me go to this one here. So um, if I've got multiple threads open, the cool thing is like on this thread with Opus 4.7, I can respond, but I can still respond using multiple models. So I can do A/B testing all the way through the chain. So this is a great way where I have one interface to interact with multiple models. Again, I don't have to do this. Cinchapi will natively figure out the best routing and the best models, but if I want a bit more control, I can do that. Another cool thing that I want to show is that when you've got multiple models at play, Cinchapi allows you to do some cool things. So let's say that I've got, multiple of these threads here, and I want to be able to follow up with multiple of them at once. So Cinchapi will allow me to select multiple models, and I have a couple of different options. I can respond to multiple models at once. So let's say I've got a couple threads going on. I like what Grok had to say. I like what DeepSeek had to say. I can follow up with both of them in one prompt. Or let's say that I like what Grok had to say and DeepSeek had to say, but I want to merge their responses. So let's say that I like a little bit about what Grok said. Maybe they're writing a story for you. I like a little bit about what Grok said. I like a little bit about what DeepSeek said. I can tell Cinchapi to simply merge those, but I can also give it some directive. I could say, use the tone of Grok, but keep the length of DeepSeek. And so Cinchapi gives you this one-stop shop where you can interface with multiple models. You can let it do it for you, or if you want a bit of control, it makes it very, very easy for you to switch models, to combine their outputs, and really craft the output that is best for you. Now, this is Cinchapi Relay, and this is what's available now. And then later this month, Cinchapi Riff, where you can build ambient AI agents, will be available. And since I'm so appreciative that you all allowed me to come and show this off, I've got a special offer for the Fostr community. So if you sign up today or anytime within the next month, you'll get 50% off the initial subscription. So if you're curious about this and you want to try it, just one interface where you can use any AI model. You can do A/B testing, compare, merge their responses, build ambient agents. So you can try this for 50% off on the initial subscription. And if you've got feedback or suggestions or anything, please let me know. So I do want to stop there and leave time for questions if anybody has them. So I'm going to stop sharing, but I can bring that slide back up in just a bit. But any questions that anybody has?
I'm sure there are a bunch of questions, Jeff. I probably have 50 myself, but I'll let others, first of all, jump in first. Vivian, please go for it.
Thank you. Hi, Jeff. Thank you so much. This is really, really cool.
Thank you.
I think my question is more around the enterprise perspective. So if you think about much large enterprise organizations, they would primarily have one tool or one model for their employees. How does this what's the potential at an enterprise level? Because I can see the potential for individuals or small businesses that have that flexibility to have multiple models, but I can't quite see it yet for enterprise.
Yeah, no, love that question. And you're right, in the enterprise space, a lot of enterprises are still trying to figure out what their strategy is. So many of them are wondering if they should be multi-model places. Some of them are like, hey, we've got an agreement with OpenAI, so we're only going to use OpenAI. Even in the case of one model, this tool has a lot of benefits because even if you're using one model, there's still the question of, well, how much thinking with that model? How much effort should that model use? What is the correct way to engineer your prompts for that particular model? And so a tool like Cinchapi and Relay still has benefits because it will still do that orchestration for you. So even if you're only using one model, Cinchapi is still designed to make it easier for you to give higher level intents and not have to be as prescriptive about how you want the AI to do it, but just say, this is the end state vision that I want. And I see there's a question for the slide, so I'm going to bring that back up, and if there are any other questions, we'll be happy to tackle those as well.
Awesome. I think Chimunda, please go for it. And I know also I'll put the link in the chat too, so folks can see that. But Chimunda, please go for it.
Hey, Jeff, thanks. Great. Delightful. So yeah, trying to build off of that enterprise question. Um, a lot of times, and so my organizations, they just transferred or switched from OpenAI's chat to Claude, and what they were thinking about within the framework and why they were switching. Part of it was price, but then the other part was just being able to sequester the data and then limit the access. For Cinchapi here, if you're dealing with organizations who especially have to who are dealing with a significant amount of either PII or person or data that needs to be identified, but then because we don't know how to control some of these agents, restricting them from different parts of the system so they don't have access. Like what kinds of tools or what kinds of guardrails are placed in Cinchapi if you were trying to explore an enterprise model?
That's a great question and it's top of mind. Cinchapi is there. There are two things in particular. So one, Cinchapi can be deployed on premise for an enterprise. So an enterprise has the ability to have a complete walled garden where if they have their own models that they're running locally, if they have their data hosted locally, they can also deploy Cinchapi within the confines of their infrastructure. So that's one safeguard that they have there. But in general, and this is important not just for enterprises, but even if you're a small business, there are a couple of things that Cinchapi does that are really good from a security and privacy standpoint. One, the way that our ambient agents are set up, and we have a white paper that I can also post a link to if you want more information about it. So I won't get too technical, but high level, the way our agents are set up, they never see sensitive data. We never pass sensitive data onto the model itself. And it's because we actually use, in addition to AI models that, Claude or OpenAI might provide, we have our own AI that we use that is designed in a way where it does not have to send personal data, PII, or private enterprise data to a model. It can actually run that stuff locally like a traditional program would. So we're able to let the models do reasoning and let the models sort of make decisions about what to do, but the actual activity is not done by the model itself. And so that's a security mechanism there where we don't actually pass sensitive data to the model. And then the other piece that I'll say there is that we use encryption through and through. So all data is encrypted at rest and in transit as well. I'll just sort of bring up the link to the white paper. If you're curious more about this story, if you go to cinchapi.com/AI, we have this white paper which you can download that talks in particular about our enterprise security story. So there's a bit about that, right? So our ambient agent architecture is fundamentally different. So I do appreciate that question because we were very intentional about thinking about that. And so we spent a lot of time creating this white paper to speak to it. I
Thank you
see.
for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I see Jasmine has her hand up.
Yes, thank you so much. Just looking at Cinchapi right now, like where can I use Cinchapi? Is it only available on web browser or do you have like an app? And if you do have like an app or like a desktop app, like is there any trade-offs or loss or anything as you're like switching between the apps? Like I asked
Yeah.
that because like I'm a co-work user and it like a Claude co-work user and it really makes me mad when I don't get co-work access on my phone. It's only Claude chat. So just
Yes.
trying to see like what's going on between the different systems.
We right now it's web only, but we will be releasing our mobile and desktop app in June. So I was going to say next month, but that's like next week. So in June, our desktop and mobile apps will be available, and there will be no loss. The apps will be full parity. So whatever my goal and my vision, I have this crazy thing where I actually think that 5 years from now, your personal computer won't matter because if everything is just voice driven, everything is like natural language driven, then most of our workspaces will be stuff that we're doing from our phone or we're doing on the go. So we're actually building these things to be 100% interoperable. So anything you can do on the web, you'll be able to do on desktop or your phone. So you never have any productivity loss.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
This is awesome. Any other questions? I guess while we're waiting for more hands to show up, Jeff, quick question for you. So someone like myself that currently have a subscription with ChatGPT, with Grok, and with Claude, right? How does that work for me? And then knowing fully well that Claude already has my context,
Yeah.
and ChatGPT already has my context. Now, if I were to then migrate that workload into Cinchapi, walk me through what that could look like for someone like myself.
So with Cinchapi, we have the ability for you to import any of your memories and context from any other AI tool or provider. So you can easily sort of set Cinchapi up so it knows everything that those other tools know. But Ida, you didn't explicitly ask it, but I'm gonna infer this from your question. It's like, hey, if I have Cinchapi, do I need a subscription for Cinchapi, or do I need a subscription for Claude, OpenAI, Grok, all those things? Um, I think that all these AI tools are great and they're all advancing and changing rapidly. And I have a subscription to all of them. My vision with Cinchapi is that it is the one subscription that you need and it should be more cost effective. So if you look at our pricing, like our core plan is $9 a month, $9 a month to access any model, right? Like now I'm paying, like $100 a month for multiple of these models. So one, it's more cost effective, but also the fact that you are removed from the burden of having to figure out how to navigate each of these models and providers is also additional benefit there. So, I'm not going to say don't buy those other tools because I think that they're great in their own right, and we're actively building Cinchapi to be that one-stop shop. But that is the vision.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I know someone has a question in chat, but I'll go to Lekon and then I'll read the chat and I'll go to you. I know. Lekon, please.
Sorry, I'm here with my son. Hopefully you can't hear him. Jeff,
Okay.
this is great. Thank you for sharing. I'm a power user, right? And I use every one of the same ones you use. I've tried Perplexity, tried to get into it, didn't get into it. I tried GenSpark, didn't get into it. Tried Poe, didn't get into it. I'm curious, are you finding, and what happens is I keep defaulting back to the core models, right? So typically it's Claude as my main one. And I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, what I really liked was kind of the simple interface of just clicking and then the idea of sending the same sort of request to the models. Like, to me, this feels like really good for evals, right? And I guess what I'm trying to get a sense for is, are you finding certain types of users or certain work streams that really work well for this? That, maybe this is too much of a question for right now, but I guess I'm just curious on which work streams are you finding to be the core use cases that would tell me, boy, Leica, if you're doing these things, definitely use it for this. I'm looking for those like key use cases that you're seeing behavior with already.
Yeah. So one of the things that you mentioned, evals, is a great use case. So if you're a more technical user, some prompt engineering. So if you're building something and you want to figure out, okay, which model should I use for my system prompt? Using it for whether formal evals or even just kind of assessing the efficacy of certain models for prompt engineering, I think it's a really, really good use case. I do think the Cinchapi is useful for everything from a beginner novice user who's someone that they just ask AI like, hey, can you recommend this one thing for me, to someone that is building systems and being more technical. And across that spectrum, the common thread is one, either I need to be able to decide which model is going to be the best for a use case, or I actually don't know which model I want to use and I don't want to have to think about it. So I just want to let Cinchapi figure it out and decide.
And then maybe one quick follow-up. The one that I found, Higgsfield, they kind of leaned into graphical, like, image and video related stuff. Do you think there's a path on like a certain type of work, whether it's financial or it's writing or just a specific type of work that you'd say, starting like, especially the ambient agents that one would want to sort of push the work to that feels, I don't know, is there like I guess I'm just trying to think of, is there like a group of activities like video or, financial modeling or a company, your example used like, anyway, let me stop asking the question. Is there?
No, that's a great question for me. And I think it is user specific, but I'll take myself as an example. Back office things where, like, so for me, I'm a developer, so I love to do the coding, right? So I want ambient agents who are going to run my sales process for me, who are going to run my marketing, who are going to balance my books and do the finance stuff and make sure invoices are sent out. Right now I've got an ambient agent that will listen to take all my meeting transcripts. So I use Otter. It will get, when all of my transcripts automatically come in, my ambient agents will look at the content and figure out what my to-dos are. If there's any scheduling stuff, it'll look at my calendar and proactively queue up emails for me to have sent to people with my availability. There are tasks to be done. It'll kick off those tasks. So I have ambient agents to do that. I have ambient agents that for social media, what they will do is they will automatically figure out based on, so like if Ade sends me the recording of this meeting here, if I put this in Cinchapi, my ambient agents are going to figure out what social media posts should be made, and they will automatically create the content. So they'll create videos, they'll create images, they'll create copy, they'll go into the systems, they'll do the posting, they'll look at the analytics, they'll make the adjustments, they'll look at the page strategy, they'll make adjustments there. So for me, that's the type of stuff where I'm like, hey, I don't want to do that. I'm not great at it. It takes a lot of time and I just want it on autopilot. There are other use cases where maybe if you're more of a business person or a marketing person, maybe what you need is someone, we're working with a company now where they actually need ambient agents that will go in and create landing pages based off of, particular sales or deals that they're doing or inventory pages. So their ambient agents are doing more technical work in that regard. So I really do think that the power of the ambient agents are work that is not in your expertise that has to get done, but you're not the best person to do it. And you doing it is detracting you from the work where you add the most value and the most leverage.
Very helpful. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Anil, do you want to go next? And then we'll probably take one more question before we call this segment a wrap. Go ahead, Anil.
All right, thank you. Yeah, this looks great. I used chatbot AI, which is similar. I mean, the only difference I see here is yours combining the results and everything like that. But the questions I have here, well, one key question is I'm looking at the website here. It doesn't talk about the token usage, right? And I know you said subscription. So let's say I do the core. Do I get unlimited? When am I going to get cut off?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'll be frank, because I do think that this is an area of feedback. The way that I view token usage, I actually don't think that you should be concerned with token usage. I think of AI like a utility. And I don't know about you all, but like when I get my utility bill or my gas bill or my light bill, like I know generally like the cost is kind of, it's in the same ballpark. If it were to rise by like 50%, then I would notice that. But I don't actually like care like how many kilowatt hours, or I don't even know what the unit of measurement for like energy is. But what I think most consumers care about is what do you want your AI spend to be? And the way that we've designed our plans is that you shouldn't have to worry about token usage. But if you're on the core plan, then it's like, hey, you're sort of a person that uses AI every day, but you're not using it for things like coding or heavy tasks, but it's mostly for like generating text or documents or things like that. If you're on the pro plan, then you're generating maybe media like videos and maybe you're doing some coding or advanced things. And then if you're on the ultra plan, then that's like you are doing ambient agents that are automating your whole life and they're doing a bunch of stuff. So the way that we want people to think about it is to generally say, well, what do I want where do I think I am in terms of an AI user? Like, am I a core user? And that $9 a month, if we do this right, then one, you should never, ever have to worry about token usage because you'll never exceed it. And so right now it is unlimited. Like each plan is effectively unlimited in terms of token usage. And we'll maybe adjust that going in the future. But the long-term vision of that is like if you're a core user, that should mean that your usage and the tokens you consume you shouldn't have to worry about it. It's almost kind of like health insurance without the copay and the deductible. It's like, what do I need a plan that is costs a lot of money because I know I'm going to use a lot of the service, or do I need a cheaper plan because I know that my usage isn't that high, and for the things that I need it for, this feels right with my budget, and this feels right for the return that I'm going to get.
Well, so I mean, that's feedback here. I mean, that's going to make for a poor user experience because I might think I'm a core user, end up being a pro user, and then things not working right. I mean, so that's a heads up on that.
No, I appreciate the feedback, and like I said, any and all feedback is welcome. And so I do appreciate that note. And that's something we'll be on the lookout for and make adjustments for.
Thanks.
Awesome. I think there's a question on the chat around the demo for image creation. Is that also included, Jeff?
Yes. So image and video creation is included on the, I believe it's on the videos are available on the Ultra plan.
Okay.
And images, I think, it might be on the core plan, but I know for sure it's on the pro plan. So you can create audio, images, and video as well.
Awesome. Fantastic. No, this is great. I know, folks, we had 30 minutes for this segment, but obviously we're 50 minutes in. It's been obviously super, super informative. And Jeff, thanks for the offer too. I will definitely be signing up today to take advantage of Fostr 50. And the good thing about this is for those that literally just joined us, we have this session recorded. We'll definitely would send the link and would also post this to on our internal portal in addition to social, so you can always catch the recap. If there are no other last question for Jeff, and Jeff, please feel free to stick around. We have just 30 more, 40 more minutes in our Hangout, and that way you can get the entire experience. This is where we actually transition into what we call the Fostr Bridge. Again, for folks that are new to Fostr, this started off when we had an event here in Atlanta. We rented an Airbnb. We called it Think Tech and Sui or something like that, Sui and whatever. But anyways, we went around the room after having fun, and everyone just kind of introduced himself and talked about, okay, I need this and I can offer that. It wasn't more of a tick for tat, but it was more of, yeah, this is my ask right now. And some folks will come and say, I don't have any ask, but I do have an offer that I can actually pour into someone or provide value to someone. It's turned into our signature segment where folks just come off mute, quickly introduce themselves. If you have any ask, it could be, hey, I need support here. I need, XYZ. You can ask the community, and folks can also come and say, I don't have an ask. This is what I'm looking to do in terms of offer. So if anybody wants to kick us off, feel free to come off mute, introduce yourself quickly. And after this segment, we'll go into our breakout rooms. But this is our Fostr Bridge segment where feel free to come off mute, introduce yourself, talk about what you need or what you can offer the community. Okay, anybody wants to go first? Or do you want me to kick us off? Because I do have an offer and I do have an ask. So, but I want folks to kick it off first before I step in. Anybody wants to kick us off? Any ask or offer? Oh, wow. Okay. No ask today, no offer today.
Okay. It's funny. Okay. Fine. So my audio cut off a bit. I didn't hear the part you said if you don't have an ask, you could do something else that day. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, just an ask or offer.
Okay.
Anything you need from the community or anything you want to offer the community.
Anything I need. That's a long list. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hi, everybody. Thank you. First of all, Jeff, thank you. That was awesome. So my ask, I guess, is I got recently laid off. And so I'm not a developer or a really, I'm learning, like Jeff was saying, instead of learning about all these tools, which can get sometimes very just too much, right? My ask is I'm still learning, but I would like to set up engage with folks who are building something from the scratch, right? For me to learn the process, for me to see how things are getting put together, not when it's all finished and beautiful, like from the beginning. It would be great to learn by watching, right? For being involved in however way I can. My bio is on the Fostr page, but essentially I'm an attorney, but I also have experience in privacy, data protection, all of that, product counseling. So if anybody has anything in mind, doesn't have to be a job, that would be great, but something you're building that I can contribute or at least offer some support in that way, that would be great. So that's my ask. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Joy. Thanks for that ask. Anybody else? And while you're doing that, I can go next. For me personally, I guess the ask would be for Fostr, right? We're always looking for, passionate Fostr mates that can help move the community forward. So we need lots of support when it comes to growth, partnerships, communications and event programming and execution. This would be a great opportunity for members who want to actually be more active and work side along myself and the rest of the leadership team, Ada and Jimmy and all the co-hosts in the different cities. Please, if you feel, hey, you know what, yeah, I want to step in now, and whatever you want to lend your expertise, we would take it. And That would be my ask. In fact, what I'll share my screen now, and I'll leave it up to Jackie. And Jackie, I do owe you a buzz too, because you've been on my mind for the longest. But let me share my screen. Um, and show you what we've done in the last pretty much in the last few days as we've done a bunch of all these ask and offer. So if you look at my screen, folks, as you know, what 6 7 weeks ago we launched the Fostr Hub, which is our go-to internal member portal for all things Fostr. um, as we've gone through multiple sessions around, Fostr Bridge, Ask and Offer, we've actually added that feature within the Fostr Hub, right? Because what was happening was, we would capture this Ask and Offer, but there was no way to follow through, right? So now it's more than easy now for folks. Again, Joy, just what you just said, you can now log in into the Fostr Hub, select Fostr Bridge, and you can actually post an ask, or you can actually post an offer. And everyone that goes in can actually see that. They can actually flag that, and you get an email. You can come back. There's a private messaging back and forth, and you can actually help fulfill that. I would go ahead and, for folks that still don't have the link, I would still drop the link in the chat. Let's see if I can pull that up. Sandra, if you don't mind, can you drop the link to the Fostr Hub? It's Fostr Hub, though we are fostr.com. And to the left panel, you would see Fostr Bridge. Right now, my to ask is the one I just talked about, which is, hey, we need more folks to help, come in and help support us. And then I'm also offering, two 30-minute product ideation, build, and go to market session for the first two people that claim it. So if you were to log on to the Fostr Hub today, you would see that as an offer from me to you. Again, in the last, 12, 11 years, I've been building on the site that most of you do know. So if anybody's thinking of building and you just, pick my brain around, product ideation, go to market, build, more than happy to offer that to the first two people. So I see we have more hands here, but let me go ahead. I'll stop sharing, and I'll let you go next. Jackie, then Tyre, then Jasmine. Ask, I'll offer. Go for it.
Thank you, sir. Yes, you own. I've been waiting for you for a while, but it's okay. I know there's a lot going on. Um, my, I have, I think you already know my offer. We talked about it in chat. And then my ask is, to Jeff, I guess, because he's here. I've had some ideas that I wanted to share I've gone to Afrotech quite a bit, and I had some ideas that I wanted to share, but I initially didn't know how to get to you. But now that you're here, I'm saying it. So that's my my thing. And then the other thing is that I have an organization that I co-founded in Uganda specifically, and we have now branches in Rwanda and Sudan. And I know that many of the people here are founders, and it would be nice if we can have employ or give people like that opportunities and mentor those people in Africa. I have it's called OTIC. You can find it on my LinkedIn. And these are hungry engineers, these are hungry, students, these are hungry people that have not gotten the opportunities that probably we have. That's how I always look at it. So I've been mentoring more than 3,000 of them, and, reaching out every single day, showing them some of the things I've learned over time. So yeah, just wanted to share that as an ask. If you can connect with me and you have some opportunities, some people you can mentor. We're looking for mentors every single day. We can create events, we can teach, we can structure. Because one of the things that I found that lacks in most of the businesses in Africa is structure. And yet we learn about it in big tech. Whenever most of us have been in big tech, we've learned many of those things that we can pass on. Sorry, I took a bit longer, but that's kind of my ask. If you can connect with me, that will be, yeah. And Jeff, let me send you like a connection request on like LinkedIn, and we can start from there.
No, that's awesome. I believe Jeff also has his email on that too. So I'll say reach out to Jeff. And as far as your other ask on mentorship, that's something that it's in the works. I've always wanted to kick off that for the longest. There's been some let's just say things that prevented us from launching our official mentorship program, but that is no longer a concern. In the next few weeks, more than happy to talk to a whole lot of people around what mentorship could look like. Because as you know, most of us are senior operators. There are a bunch of young, aspiring individuals that really would love our mentorship. And I think now is time to, turn that into our traditional foster mentor or whatever terminology we're going to come. So more to come on that, Jackie. I'm definitely going to reach out to you this coming week. Let's sit down and begin to iron out some of the things. And thanks for offering to. Tyre, you want to go next, please?
Yeah, hi all. I'm Tayo. Thanks for having me. This is my first meeting. I think I'm a recent joinee. So I don't know the format, but I think I got inspired with Joy's question earlier. So I'm an engineer by profession. I'm also a founder that just came out of Stealth. And I guess in the theme it will be more of the offer. So I think you had mentioned around a lot of people are building in this space. I'm a builder, so I think I can offer some time for people that are trying to build. Like right now I'm building like an AI company. There's a lot right going on, and I just love to talk to like builders that are trying to build. So if you're trying to navigate the space, I think I can offer some time to do that. But yeah, that's all I got. Just wanted.
Awesome, Tyre. Thank you so much. I think you're based in San Francisco, correct? The Bay Area?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
you?
Oakland, yes.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think I remember that profile. Yes, please also throw that in the hub. You'll be able to go to Foster Hub right now and put in that offer in so that folks can grab that. Thank you so much for jumping on, Jasmine.
Yeah, hey everybody. Today I have an ask. It's qu finally like quiet. My curling competitive season is done for the summer, so I'm finally like getting out there and trying to do some vibe coding after I learned about it during that last vibe coding session before. And my ask is if there's somebody in the foster community that is a builder, like my background is like operations, supporting creative, like a producer, like I don't know anything about anything, but I would love to figure out like how do I actually get this idea that I've like kind of vibe coded out into the market because like I like it. I think it'll be like beneficial to other people, but I don't know how to go from it being on my computer and in like Expo to like out there in the world. So if there's anybody who is like versed in that space, hit me up.
I kind of see that synergy between you and Tyre. So Jasmine, definitely, I would say take Tyre up on that offer. But let's channel this to the Foster Hub. That way we can also track fulfillment and stats in the back end. So thanks for sharing, Jasmine. Larry, do you want to go next, I believe? Or was that Tambra?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Hi, everyone. My name is Landry. I'm new to this community and um, I'm Nigerian. I live in Ottawa here in Canada. I'm the co-founder of Diaspora, which is a dating app for Nigerians in the diaspora. We are 2 months into the market and it's been great, amazing so far. Um, I need to ask actually. I would like to have someone to go through like the UI UX experience, with me, just because it's a little bit harder from the engineering standpoint, trying to decide what the experience of the user might be. And I want the platform to be the best it can be. So please, if you have any experience with UI users experience, please let me know. I'll be glad, more than happy to like do a demo and, take some notes. If there's anything that you think we can actually improve on the product, that would be really, really amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Larry, for sharing. Yes. I've heard a lot of people reach out to us, talking about, foster love and making sure that, we can help our our singles out there. I was like, no, I don't want to be responsible for heartbreaks, but it's definitely a need for sure. And I'm sure you have a bunch of product designers within the community that can sit with you and hopefully help orchestrate the best UI experience for your product. So thanks for sharing. Again, make sure you go to the Foster Hub and put that ask out there, and hopefully you get someone that will jump on that. Tambra, you want to go next, please?
Thank you so much. This is my first meeting, and I want to do an ask and offer. So the offer is an opportunity to meet in real life. June 20th, in celebration of Juneteenth, if you're in DC. I run Wanda. It's a nonprofit on the side of getting my PP in media tech democracy at AU. And so we have the Sisterhood Supper Juneteenth celebration. You can learn more and sign up. It's free. We're 10. This is our 6th year. We honor Black women in food. We have a caterer honoring like Edna Lewis. So the food is going to be amazing. And you can get your feet planted in Urban Farm in Ward 7 and enjoy CJ Egypt Mide. He is Canadian Nigerian. He's a singer here and also comedy by Anna. So go to iamwanda.org/Sisterhood Supper and connect in real life. The ask, because we're looking to scale Sisterhood Supper as a democratized club for folks to connect in intimate spaces like their homes, kitchens, African restaurants, and use food as medicine, but through an African diaspora lens. We're looking to have a digital platform to help us to have a digital safe space. And so my research is about belonging online and online communities to improve health of Black women. And so I would like to take my research and develop a platform that speaks to that sense of digital belonging and use food as a mechanism to bring people together and help fundraise for our Rwanda scholars that we support in Northern Nigeria at Bari University getting their degrees in nutrition. So it is a CSR opportunity for those who are in corporate, but you can learn more at iamwanda.org about us. But that's my ask and offer. Thank you so much for creating this space.
Awesome, Tambra. Great call out there. Can you, if you don't mind, can you put those links in the chat real quick? And then just like I said to others too, let's go to the Foster Hub. Sandra, do you mind posting that link again to the Foster Hub so that folks can go to the Fostr Bridge within the Foster Hub and put in that ask and offer? I don't see any other hands. I know we have just less than 19 minutes left for the entire Hangout. It's been amazing. And I want us to go right into our breakout rooms. Then we'll come back from the breakout rooms and hopefully I can close out with time for debrief and some other top of mind items. So let me go ahead and create the rooms. And for this breakout, it's going to be just 10 minutes long, right? And, I just came up with a prompt and feel free to do whatever comes to your mind, right? But the prompt for today's breakout is if your bills were paid and your fridge was stocked, would you still be doing the exact same thing? If not, what would you be doing? Again, if your bills were paid and your fridge was stocked, would you still be doing the exact same thing? If not, what would you be doing? That's going to be the theme for your breakout. So let me go ahead and kick up the breakout rooms here. Introduce yourself, and you all have fun. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Okay. What else? Let's see. What else? What else? Guys, we're breaking for the breakout rooms. If you are not assigned to a room, do let me know so that I can assign you. Okay, let's see. Move to 7. Okay, Sandra and Chan. Larry, let me go ahead and make sure we fix that. Larry, let's see. Larry shows you're assigned, so I think you should be good. Dare and Yumi and Tulu, do you guys have issues joining your room? I'm going to assign you to a new room. Right now, we're in the breakout session. So let me go ahead and find your room.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's do that now. Let's see. I'm going to do a room 4. Let's do room 4 for you. Okay. That should work now. Okay. You should see an assignment for room 4. Let me know if you see that, Nami.
Um,
Okay. Nee, I'm going to assign you to a breakout. We're actually in our breakout session. So I'll assign you to 8. Let's do that.
all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Yumi. Good to see you here on. Jasmine, welcome back. Hope you guys had a good time.
Such a great time.
Such a great time. Okay, awesome. Yeah, people are like, "Oh, our day's too short." Why did you bring us back so soon? Like, well, we have to stick to time. We only have 9 more minutes left. Um, let's see. I think we have pretty much everyone back. I mean, Manal, thanks for hopping on. I know you had a quick ask. Let me let you go first, and then we can do a quick debrief. Manal, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. Hold on, let me see if I can turn on my camera. Let's see. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So I am Manal. I'm an attorney here in Atlanta. I'm also the founder of Diaspora District. We are a nonprofit organization that connects cross-industry experts across the diaspora and Africa so that we can build together both to bridge education and workforce development, but also scale Black-owned businesses into the Caribbean, into Africa. Great things. We held a huge global conference in Ghana last year, and we're bringing it to Atlanta this year. Where we really need support is people like yourselves that are connected to other communities to spread the word and help us get the word out to our diaspora community to come out to Atlanta July 24th and 25th this year. If you want to reach out to me, please do. We can create like an affiliate program, an affiliate offering, a discount to your community members. So it's something that you two are offering as a perk of being part of your community. I would love to explore that with you all. It's an area that we need support, and also you're the community we're serving. So we would love for you to be there. Um, this year, we're doing a one-day TREE Summit. TREE stands for Trade, Real Estate, Entrepreneurship, and Education. You can read more about it at diasporadistrict.org. And the really exciting thing is on the second day, we are throwing the Global Diaspora Day Festival with the City of Atlanta, because we got the City of Atlanta, the City of Seattle, Missouri State, federal government of Nigeria, and the federal government of Ghana to all declare the last Saturday of July Global Diaspora Day. So we finally have a shared holiday that is not culture specific or ethnic specific. It's just for all of us. And so please reach out to me. I'll drop my email in the chat. If you have a community, if you want to show up yourself, please, diasporadistrict.org. If you're part of Fostr, Fostr is already VIP, and you might need to talk to Ade about getting one of those tickets. And if you have a community, please reach out because we can set something up where it's, mutually beneficial, because we want you there, and we can do something to make it easy for you to get there. Thank you, Ade. I hope it didn't take too much time. I was trying to
No.
talk quickly.
No worries. Thanks, Manal. And yes, folks, please connect with Manal. Manal, go ahead, drop that link. I believe Ashley already did for you, but yeah, go ahead and redrop any other links that you want to drop on there. And then, like I've said to everyone, just go to the Foster Hub and put in that ask within the Foster Bridge, and folks can directly interact with it. And more to come on Foster's partnership with Diaspora District. You guys will probably begin to hear more in the coming weeks. We're super excited, not just to support, but to bring all you all into that ecosystem. We have just 6 minutes left in today's hangout. There's never always enough time. So, does anybody wants to come off mute and just talk about debrief of your breakout? Before I kind of start summarizing next steps on this call. Anybody wants to share how their breakout room went? Oh, all go all at once now. Go for it. Who wants to go first?
Okay, we don't have time, so we're gonna hurry up. Um, so Sandra and I think Oludare, I think we were in the same room together, and we agreed traveling, dancing. If we didn't have to worry about anything, we're gonna do a lot of that. And I think we said start sort of nonprofit or NGOs to kind of accelerate some of the things that we wanted to do when we couldn't afford to do it for other people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks, Joy. Anybody else? my chin is like, hey, let me get off mute. Ada, go ahead.
So I was in a room with Chidera and Jackie, and I think what was refreshing from our conversation was just to hear that they are passionate about what they're doing, right? Well, at least one person, and just to hear that they do find the work that they do, or both of them actually, that they find the work that they do fulfilling. I was a bit on the other side of the spectrum. I'd be doing a bit more philanthropy, and pursuing some of my other business interests. But overall, it was just refreshing to hear that people are enjoying the work that they do, especially in this time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. All right, we have 4 more minutes, so let me just start wrapping things up here. Again, it's been an amazing hangout for me. Definitely looking forward to June hangout. I know some folks might be, start going out on vacation or summer break, but trust me, you don't want to miss June. If you think this was the best yet, how much more work we have in stock for you guys in June. Quick housekeeping items. Please, if you're not yet connected with us on social media, please do follow us. I believe I just sent out the links, and Sandra just also followed up. It's We Are Fostr across LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and all the other channels out there. Please do follow us. Number two is growth, right? One of the things that is top of mind for H2 for leadership is how we continue to grow and obviously create impact. So you all are our ambassadors. So feel free invite 2, 3, 4, 5 mission aligned individuals. Just send them a link to our website, wearefostr.com. They can click on join us and let them please include your name as a referral. That way we can, send you a thank you note. So it's very, very key. You probably would say campaign start on Monday around, just how we continue to grow as a community. We're knocking on 900 of us in just 20 months. And our target is 3,000 before the end of the year. I'm optimistic we will get there. But it requires every one of you. Please share this link within your Instagram, social media, Compline, whatever. And I'll be doing lots of ERG roadshow in the next few weeks or so. So if you guys are doing something at the office and you want me to come in and come tell them about the great work we're doing at Fostr, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk about anything as we continue this roadshow. So that's that. And then, like I said, we'll be launching a whole bunch of things in the next few weeks here. So more to come on that. We'll be sharing the recording of this session. And please go to cinchapi.com, I believe, /start. And make sure you claim your 50 Fostr 50 code. So I don't want you all reaching out to me and say, hey, it's not working after 6 months, right? So make sure you do that today. I'm going to claim mine today. We're going to send out the details in the group. So please don't reach out in the next 4 weeks and say the code is no longer working, because that's out of my control. So if you see value, which I see a bunch of value, be sure to claim that code. Jeff, looking forward to continue to work with you as an individual, to work with Cinchapi and continue to explore other collaboration. Always great conversation with you all. The last thing we typically do is our photo, right? And please, if you can get off video, so we can do the group photo, and that way we can share this on social media. People can know how much fun we had. So if you don't mind, come off video. It's okay. You all look pretty. You all look, good looking anyway. So come off video. Let's all say big cheese and let's take some group photo. We're gonna take 2 or 3. In that way, because I think I see over 30 of us now. We have 2 pages. Ashley, Ada, Victor, D, Chidera, Dari. Okay, let's go. Let's get over some. Let's show some pretty faces now.
Listen, I might as well just go ahead and bow out because
don't bow now.
I'm
No,
in
let's
my
go.
robe and my bonnet still, but I'm not about to.
Literally, me too.
Okay, well, I'll do the first one right now. At the count of 3, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3. Say cheese, and then I'll go to the next screen and let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Say cheese. Awesome. All right, team. It's exactly 3:31. It's been a great hangout for May. Looking forward to June hangout, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in the next few weeks. And I will talk to you all soon. Cheers all. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.